What's up guys, it's Daz here, but you don't really care, as coincidentally about a year ago I uploaded a video talking about Super Smash Bros. And all 166 characters shown so far, and well, by now, obviously it's been a year and so the game's actually come out. So, I'm going to complete this mini little series I did by showing you every single character in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. And if you thought it was just like the 50 odd that there are for playable characters, you could not be more wrong. Oh boy. So, let's start off with the playable characters, because, you know, they're the first ones up anyway. We have Bowser, Bowser Jr., Captain Falcon, Charizard, Dark Pit, Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, Dr. Mario, Duck Hunt Duo, Falco, Fox, Ganondorf, Greninja, Ike, Jigglypuff, King Dedede, Kirby, Link, Little Mac, Lucario, Lucas, Lucina, Luigi, Mario, Marth, Mega Man, Meta Knight, Mewtwo, Mii Sword Fighter, Mii Gunner, Mii Brawler, Mr. Game & Watch, Ness, Olimar, Pac-Man, Palutena, Peach, Pikachu, Pit, Rob, Robin, Rosalina, Samus, Sheik, Shulk, Sonic, Toon Link, Villager, Wario, Wii Fit Trainer, Yoshi, Zelda, and Zero Suit Samus. That alone was kind of long anyway, but there are a few sort of alternative costumes you can take which, while they are still sort of the same moveset, they do radically change their appearance, so I'm going to count it in some cases. So for that we have Alf, Larry, Wendy, Ludwig, Morton Jr., Iggy, Lemmy, and Roy. Roy. I'm not going to count the other villagers because it's not so much a character, just an other customization for the character, if that makes sense. Whereas Alf is actually a physical character in the game of Pikmin 3. Hope that makes sense. Now that's the easy stuff out of the way, and there probably will be stuff that'll come out in the future with the whole ballot system the whole game's got going on, but for now, since the game's only been out for a few months anyway, and the fact that the ballots thing has only just been sort of announced and people are getting into it but there haven't actually been characters coming from it yet, I'm not going to count any characters that haven't been put in yet, because it hasn't been put in yet. Pay attention to the date of this video and you'll understand about when this was made. That was a bit too obvious, but you know what I mean. So now we're going to move on to the bosses and stage hazards that appear in the different stages and games. So we have Master Hand, Crazy Hand, Ridley, Metal Face, Yellow Devil, Dark Emperor, Koume and Kotake, who are still just one character, and the Master Core. And as little stage hazards we also have the Balloon Fight Fish and Claptraps. There may be more, but I couldn't find them. That's fair enough. Now we've gotten to about 70 characters, and that's already quite a lot, but we're not even close to done. You'd be surprised. Let's move on to the assist trophies now. We have Andros, Ashley, Chain Chomp, Color TV Game 15, Dark Samus, Devil, Dylan, Dr. Kawashima, Dr. Wright, Elecman, Girahim, The Ghosts, Inky, Blinky, Pinky and Clyde, Hammer Bros, Infantry and Tanks, Isabel, Jeff, Kat and Anna, Knuckle Joe, Lakitu and Spinies, Lynn, Magnus, Metroid, Midna, Mother Brain, Nintendogs, Nightmare, Phosphora, the Prince of Sable, Ricky, Saki, Samurai Gora, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sheriff, Skull Kid, Starfy, Starman, Takamaru, Tingle, and Waluigi. And now we've come up to a good 109. Not a bad roster, quite a lot of work I imagine, but let's move on to the Pokemon. Starting off with the ones that appear from Pokeballs. Blossom, Chespin, Dedenne, Eevee, Electrode, Fennekin, Gardevoir, Gagote, Inkay, Goldeen, Meloetta, Meowth, Metagross, Oshawott, Snivy, Snorlax, Spupa, Staryu, Swirlix, and Togepi. But then there's also the Pokemon that come from Master Balls, which are a new item in this game. They have Arceus, Darkrai, Deoxys, Entei, Keldeo, Kyogre, Kyurem, Lugia, Mew, Palkia, Suicune, Victini, and Xerneas. Now that's quite a lot already, but believe it or not, there are still more, as in the 3DS version there was the whole Smash Run thing going on, so we have a whole slew of enemies to count as well. And those include Bakura, Bonsai Bills, Bill Blasters, Bonkers, Boom Stompers, Bronto Burt, Bubbles, Bulborbs, Bullet Bills, Bumpity Bombs, Chandelure, Clubber Skull, Cryogonal, Kuko, Daphne, Darknut, Devil Car, Egg Robo, Flag, Flame Chomp, Ghastly, Geema, Giant Goomba, Glice, Gliar, Glunder, Goomba, Gordo, Hammer Bro, which won't be counted twice, Iridescent Glint Beetle, Kamek, Key Hunter, Coughing, Koopa Paratrooper, Koopa Trooper, Critter, Lakitu, Lethinian, Lurchthorn, Marva, Megonta, Metroid, Metor, Mimicutie, Mite, Monoeye, Nutski, Octorok, Orn, Parasol Waddle Dee, Peahat, Petilil, Plasma Wisp, Polar Bear, Puka, Popunt, Reaper, Redead, Rio, Roturret, Shotzo, Shy Guy, Scuttler, Sneaky Spirit, Souffle, Spiketop, Stalfos, Starman, Tack, Tiki Buzz, Waddle Dee, Waddle Doo, Yellow Ghost, and Zuri. Wow, just saying this alone makes it feel like there's a lot. I would not want to work on this game, it seems like too much effort. And now we're going to go on to items, although before this item list begins, there are a couple things that aren't so much items, but more show up in attacks, and I don't really know where to classify it, so I'm going to sort of put it here. And because I just want to extend this list as much as possible, I'm also going to include the red Pikmin, blue Pikmin, yellow Pikmin, purple Pikmin, white Pikmin, and winged Pikmin. I don't think there's rock Pikmin, so There's also Toad from Peach's One Move, you know the one. Then for actual items, we have Sandbags, Mr. Saturn, Bob-Ombs, Unira, Kukos, Bomb Chews, Galaga, Bullet Bills, which won't be counted, and Fairy Bottles. Moving on to Final Smashes, and there aren't too many new characters here, and some of them I'm not even sure if I should count as new characters, but I'm going to throw them in, so let's just sort of go with it anyway. We have Chrom, Dunban, Wild Gunman, who count as 5 people now, Tom Nook, Timmy, Tommy, that octopus thing from, you know, Game & Watch, Giga Mac, Giga Bowser, Ganondorf's Beast Form, Shadow Mario, Mega Man times 4, Mega Charizard, Mega Lucario, and Super Sonic. And now we're almost at the end of this list, even though we're coming up to 10 minutes already of just naming names. I'm not even talking too much in between these lists, but this last list basically talks about the stage spectators. There's a lot of them. So, we've got Blathers, Blanca, Booker, Brewster, Celeste, Copper, Cornema, Crazy Red, Dr. Shrunk, Gracie, Gulliver, Harriet, Human Boy, Human Girl, Cap'n, Katie, Caitlin, Katrina, Lyle, KK Slider, Mabel, Pascal, Pelly, Pete, Phyllis, Rover, Sable, Sahara, Joan, Timmy won't be counted, Tommy won't be counted, Tom Nook won't be counted, Tortimer, Lila, Wendell, Torizo, Falling People, Treasure Diver, Customers, Lion Tamers, Chef, the guy holding up the pavement thing, don't know what to call him, Tails, Knuckles, Silver, Flying Man, Inky, Blinky, Pinky and Clyde, of course they won't be counted again, Blooper, Yveltal, Zapdos, Shy Guy Racers, Alfonso, the Mies from Tomodachi Life, Reshiram, Zekrom, Shaman, Whimsicott, Milotic, Support Ghost, Retro Donkey Kong, who's technically young Cranky Kong, King Bowling, Dog, Duck, Mom, Cat, Old Man, Peckish Aristocrat, Registeel, Honedge, Caesar, Clink Clank, Steelix, Ho-Oh, Infernape, Blaziken, Pyroar, Tepig, Manaphy, Piplup, Blastoise, Clawitzer, Wailord, Rayquaza, Axu, Dragonite, Garchomp, Hydreigon, Booze, Lubba, Luma, Nintendogs, Nintencats, Kamek, Nabbit, Fairy Queen, Fairies, Loftwings, the Wii Fit Balance Board, Flicky, Ricky and Rocky, Mies as the background, they still have a separate sort of animation, so I'm going to count them too, and all the different array of audiences, which I'm just going to count as one character. But yes, with that comes to the end of our list. There is a chance, since I did do this pretty quickly, that I may have missed a few characters, and if I have, feel free to comment them down, and hopefully, during this, what I'll assume is a blank white screen, I'll be popping up annotations of anyone I've missed. I'll probably also add maybe new characters that are added, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yes, that is pretty much the end of that. And I gotta say, if that whole theory about how Sakurai is not into making more of these games, I just hope he does DLC for this one. That way he gets to put in everything he wants to, and then it's all still updated with the series, and then we don't have to worry about stressing the guy out to make a 5th game. Yeah, that's a bit off topic. Anyway, on that note, I should probably end it off here. I've done enough talking and naming tons and tons and tons and tons of characters. So for now, my name's been Daz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.